Before we pray together, let's be honest for a moment. Have you ever felt like you keep running, but get nowhere? Keep searching, but never really find what you need? You once poured yourself into work, hoping to find stability, tried hard to please everyone, to gain recognition, tasted a bit of success, only to feel empty right after. You thought maybe with some savings, some security, someone who understands, your heart would be more at peace. But then, on an ordinary morning or during a sleepless night, you sighed and asked, "What am I really searching for, Lord?" Maybe you are in that very place today. A place where your heart is quiet but not at peace. A place where you still believe in God, but feel your faith as fragile as a thread. And if you're brave enough to pause, you'll see this. Sometimes God doesn't let us find what we want because He is gently inviting us to seek again the only one our heart truly needs. You will seek me and find me when you search for me with all your heart. Jeremiah 29:13. The question today isn't, what are you lacking? What do you need? Or, what should you do next? But rather, are you truly seeking Him? Or are you just seeking a miracle, a way out, a feeling? Because one thing is sure, God isn't playing hide and seek. He doesn't stay silent to hurt you. He is a Father, and anyone who truly seeks Him will find Him. Maybe you once ran to Him, but turned away again because nothing seemed to change. Maybe you once prayed, but gave up when the miracle didn't come as you hoped. But today you are being invited to return, not to find something, but to find Him. He hasn't hidden His face. He isn't far off. He is still right here, waiting for you. You don't have to be strong. You don't need to know many Bible verses, just a true heart and a small cry. And perhaps this very moment is when you'll find what you've been longing for. Not an answer, but a presence, not a solution, but a Father's hand holding your trembling heart. Perhaps you are like me, raised in a world that teaches you must take care of yourself. You must control everything. You must be strong, not allow life to slip beyond your grasp. We learn to make plans. We set goals, make budgets, calculate for the long term, then tell ourselves, as long as I do well, everything will be fine. But strangely, the tighter we hold on, the more our heart tires. The more we control, the more our soul loses peace. You stay awake until late at night, not to work, but to worry. Worry for your children. Worry about your finances. Worry about things you cannot speak to anyone about for fear of being misunderstood. There are mornings when you open your eyes and feel unrest, even though nothing special has happened. Just a feeling of emptiness and weariness, as if you are wrestling with something invisible. And in those very moments when no one sees, when no one understands, the word of the Lord still whispers, "Call to me, and I will answer you and show you great and hidden things that you have not known." Jeremiah 33:3. The question is not, does God hear me? Because He always hears, because He is the one who never falls asleep, never forgets His children. The issue is, does my heart truly stop to hear His voice? Am I seeking Him or just chasing some temporary comfort? Perhaps we have grown too accustomed to handling everything by our strength, planning on our own, taking responsibility for ourselves, carrying burdens ourselves. But the human heart was not made to carry on like that forever. God did not create you to become omnipotent in everything. He created you to lean into the omnipotent one. Maybe it's time you need to let go, not to give up, but to loosen your grip so God can step in. Because sometimes the very weariness you feel is not a sign of failure, but a gentle reminder it's time for you to stop trying alone and let me do my part. You don't have to do it all. You only need to do the first thing. Stop and seek Him. And who knows, and when you finally release your hold, that's precisely when true peace can begin. Perhaps you, like many of us, have become accustomed to straining to keep everything within your grip, trying to arrange everything neatly, trying to foresee the future, trying to be strong so no one sees your weakness. But there comes a moment when night falls and the room is silent. You realize that you have tried so hard, yet you still do not feel peace. Because the truth is, there are things we cannot control. We cannot change the hearts of others. We cannot be sure of tomorrow. We cannot heal the invisible wounds within ourselves. And in that moment, God gently invites, "Call unto me, and I will answer you, and show you great and hidden things which you have not known." Jeremiah 33:3. Trust is not a fleeting emotion, it is a spiritual choice. Let go of what you cannot hold, so God can take hold instead. You cannot heal a fractured marriage on your own. You cannot turn hearts through effort alone, but God can, and He is waiting for you to invite Him in. The scriptures promise, "Blessed is the man who trusts in the Lord, and whose hope is the Lord. For he shall be like a tree planted by the waters, that spreads out its roots by the river." Jeremiah 17:7-8. God does not require you to be better, stronger, and more tenacious. He is simply waiting for you to believe enough to let go and let Him begin to act. For it is precisely at that point of release that prayer truly begins. No need for many words, only sincerity. And if you are ready, let us come together before the Lord. Dear Lord, I have prayed before, yet fear still lingers. I have read the Bible, but my mind races with tangled thoughts. There are mornings when I open my eyes and feel nothing but a lingering emptiness within. I walk, work, converse. I still smile, but my heart is cold. I have tried so much, tried to hold on to my faith, tried to be a devout believer, tried to prevent my children from seeing me shattered. But the more I tried, the more I drifted away from what I needed most: to truly stop and seek you. Father, I am weary, not because of a lack of time, but because of a lack of spiritual life. I chase responsibilities, try to control everything, fight anxiety with my will. But one day I realized I can't even control my own heart. There are days I pray, but my words feel hollow. I know you hear me, but I no longer hear the whisper of my own genuine heart. I apologize for approaching you as a last resort instead of a companion. I'm sorry for offering rushed prayers instead of a broken heart. I'm sorry for letting my heart be misled by spiritual things, forgetting that you don't need perfect rituals. You only need me, real. Lord, perhaps I have not admitted that I doubted my prayers. I read passages on healing, but my heart doesn't believe I can be restored. I hear about peace, yet my mind is tangled in unanswered questions. But today I stop, not because I'm strong, but because I no longer have the strength to keep forcing it. I do not come to you with a glorious victory. I come with a heart that is falling apart. Just want to lean into you quietly, needing no explanation, just to be understood. I do not pray to change circumstances. Today I pray to change my heart, to let go, to admit that I am weak, that I cannot save myself. Only you can bring peace to my heart. Father, I do not know what tomorrow holds, but today I know one thing. I cannot continue living without your presence. I cannot be a Christian by personal effort alone. Please have mercy on me. Draw me back, close to you, not so I may do more, but I learn to simply be in your presence, like a lost child finding their way home. But today, amid lingering weariness and unanswered questions, I still choose to believe again, not because I've seen a miracle, not because circumstances have changed, but because there is one thing I have never lost. Your promise. I choose to believe that the God of yesterday is still the God of today, that you have not changed even though my heart has doubted many times. You are still the one who said, "Peace, be still," and the sea obeyed. You are still the one who stood before Lazarus' tomb, not afraid of death. You spoke one word, and life returned. If you can quiet the raging storm outside, you surely can soothe the storm within my heart. If you can call the dead back to life, you can awaken the waning faith in me and revive it in a way only you can understand. Lord, my faith today is not radiant. It does not blaze like in the beginning, but it remains like a small spark whispering its confession. I believe in you, even though I still tremble, even though I see nothing clearly. I do not live by what my eyes see. I do not walk by feelings. I walk because I know you are walking ahead of me. I declare you are the one who holds my heart when everything else is scattered. You are the one who keeps your promise, even when I cannot hold mine. I don't have to wait until everything is settled to believe. I believe even when my heart is confused. I believe even when nothing has changed. Because true faith doesn't need to see in order to believe, but chooses to believe precisely when it cannot yet see. Lord, today I stand between two things: the reality of my circumstances and your promise. And I choose to grasp the promise. I choose to believe that even though I don't understand, you are still working. Even though I don't see the way, you are still guiding me. Even though I don't feel it, you are still near. And if faith is a decision, then today I choose again. No need for soaring emotions. No need for a special sacred atmosphere. Just a simple truth. I place my heart in you. Once again, I choose to believe, not because I am strong enough, but because you have kept me when I was weakest. You have lifted me when no one knew I had fallen. You have whispered into my heart words that no one else could hear. You have waited for me on mornings when I forgot you. So today I declare, nothing can separate me from the love of Christ. No circumstance, no emotion, no fleeting doubt. I choose to believe. Whatever tomorrow brings, I still belong to you. No matter how the wind may turn, I cling to the cross. Even if my heart is weak, your grace is sufficient. I don't need to understand it all. I only need one thing, that you do not change, and that is why I continue to walk. Not because I am certain about the future, but because I have confidence in the one who holds the future in his hands. Lord, when all that I once trusted seems to crumble, when every refuge I leaned on began to shake, I return to what remains steadfast, your unchanging promise. Delight yourself in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart. Psalm 37:4. I once read this verse and thought of dreams unfulfilled, but today I understand more clearly. The greatest desire of my heart is no longer a result, a miracle, or a clear answer. What my heart truly longs for is to live close to you, not merely to receive what I've prayed for, but to have you yourself, as the reward, to live in your presence each day, to wake up knowing you are still here. Because if you are with me, I have enough. And if you are not, with everything else, my heart remains empty. Lord, I remember what you said to Paul. My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. 2 Corinthians 12:9. Those words aren't for the spiritually strong, but for people like me, weak, struggling, often with nothing left to give except a sigh. And you do not reject. You do not turn away. You do not say you don't have enough faith. Instead, you say, My grace is sufficient for you, sufficient for a weary day, sufficient for a trembling heart, sufficient for a soul unsure of its path. And if your promise has stood firm through all generations, then today in this ever-shifting world, I choose to stand on that foundation, not on emotions, not on what I currently possess, but on a truth that never changes. God's promise is real, and He never fails. Merciful Father, after I have confessed my heart, after I have chosen to believe again, after I have held on to your promises as the last breath in the night, now I cannot keep this prayer to myself, because I know someone else is listening, someone is thirsting for a miracle, a sign that they are not alone, a whisper so they may know you are still near. I pray on their behalf. For those trying hard to appear okay, yet inside their faith is gradually fading. I pray for the mother who is exhausted, juggling endless chores while silently praying in tears for her wayward child. For the father who cannot bring himself to cry, silent each night, burying his face in his pillow, saddened by disappointment in himself. For the child who cares for elderly parents day in and day out, smiling to reassure others, while inside their soul is falling apart unnoticed. And for the believer whose heart once burned for you, now they sit quietly in the back of the gathering, faith dried up, yet longing to revive that first spark of light. Lord, only you alone see what human eyes cannot. Tears wiped away in the night, sobs as too fearful to speak, and a heart too exhausted to pray once more. Please come to them. No thunder or lightning is needed, just a gentle presence. A presence is able to break the burden they have carried for far too long. I ask that you touch them right where they sit. They do not need to strive to pray the right words. They only need to dare to look up and realize you are still here. Lord, perhaps they once believed firmly, walked close beside you with radiant simplicity, prayed with every breath as though nothing was impossible. But today, only a single flicker remains amid winds of doubt and fatigue. Please do not rebuke them. Draw near and softly breathe upon that ember, so it does not extinguish, but gently rekindles, most tenderly. I pray for those who no longer have words to pray. Father, please speak on their behalf. For those whose tears have dried, accept their silence as a cry of pain too deep for words. For those sitting alone in empty rooms, may they feel the silent warmth of your spirit beside them, like a friend who does not leave their side. For those hearing these words through headphones, may each phrase fall into their heart like refreshing rain on the parched ground, long devoid of hope. And if they think, this prayer is not for me, then let the Father whisper so softly, yet strongly enough to touch their soul. I see you. I have never forgotten you, even for a single moment. Even when you cannot feel me, I am still right beside you. Lord, do not walk past their heart. Please stop and rebuild what is broken. Do not let them continue if they are not accompanied by your presence. I ask that you become their first breath of the day. When they open their eyes, they see a world that is still unchanged. Become gentle comfort after a long, weary day, and the final light when they close their eyes at night. I do not ask you to deliver them from every hardship, for I know what they may need most is not an instant miracle, but a Father's hand, real enough to hold, near enough so they are no longer afraid, warm enough to soften their heart after so many days of bearing burdens. Please place that hand on their shoulder through this prayer, so they know, even if others have forgotten them, even if circumstances have turned away, even if they are trembling within, there is still one who never abandons them. There is someone praying for them right now. I pray this in the name of Jesus, the one who grew weary unto blood sweat, the one who prayed alone while his loved ones slept, and the one who, to this day, still intercedes for every weary child returning to the Father. Amen. Lord, after all the moments of stopping, the tear-streaked prayers, the admissions of weakness, and the times of brokenness, today I stand, not by my own strength, but by faith restored by your very presence. I declare, nothing in this life can strip the hope you have placed in me. No circumstance can dim your promise. No weariness is strong enough to overflow the grace flowing into my heart each day. Even if my prayers are delayed, I still believe. Even if healing has not yet come, I still wait. Even if the answer is unclear, I will still quietly watch for you like a night watchman awaiting dawn. Even if I cannot see the light, I will still walk in the darkness, with my eyes fixed on you, my source of light, and no longer afraid to wander. For I know you do not abandon those who seek you, and those who hope in you will never be put to shame. I declare, I do not live by feelings, I live by promise. I will not let circumstances guide me. I let the Spirit direct every step. I am not defined by what I cannot see, but by the one I have chosen to trust. The enemy may whisper in my ear, God has forgotten, but I will boldly respond in faith. He is still working, even in silence. He is still leading me, even when I cannot feel it. He is still faithful, even when my heart is shaken. Today I declare, no chain can hold me, because Christ broke them on the cross. No darkness can swallow me, because he is the light that never fades. No past can bind me, because he redeemed me with his blood. I am not only hoping for a brighter tomorrow, I am hoping in him, the one who is yesterday, today, and forever unchanging. Even if I tremble, I walk on. Even if I don't fully understand, I submit. Even if there is no miracle yet, I still choose to praise. Because true faith doesn't need everything to be clear. It needs one unchanging truth: God is faithful. And because he is faithful, I declare, my tomorrow is held in the hands of one who never fails. My future is built on a firm foundation. My journey is not a path of uncertain turns, but a road marked with the footprints of the Father going before me. I am not merely praying. I am declaring war on fear with faith. I am not merely surviving. I am living again in the power of the risen one. And even if the world shakes, my heart will not waver, for he is the rock on which I stand. I declare victory not because I am strong, but because the one living in me has overcome the world, and I belong to him. Perhaps you think you've just quietly finished watching a video, but in truth, you've just done something profoundly sacred. You have paused amid all the calls to be stronger, do more, try harder. You have stayed silent while the world rushed around you, and in that moment of pause, you returned. Not to a church, not to an old emotion, but back to the one who has been waiting for you. All these days your heart was weary, and you whispered something true from the depths. I need you. Maybe you didn't speak it aloud. Maybe it was just a tear, a slowed heartbeat, a deeper breath. But God heard. And that is the beginning of a spiritual revival. If a part of this prayer has touched your heart, please don't let it pass as a fleeting feeling. Let it become a new milestone. Write it down, not for anyone else, but so you can remind yourself, I choose to seek you wholeheartedly. And if while listening, you thought of someone, a friend who no longer prays, a family member spiritually tired, someone who once believed, but now quietly fell apart inside, please share this video with them. No need for an explanation, just a silent act. You might be the intercessory prayer God is using today. And if you're searching for a place, quiet, unrushed, a place to be reminded each morning that God is still here, A place where your faith is gently lifted, piece by piece, then hit follow on prayer moments daily. Because your soul deserves to be refreshed every day. Because you didn't just hear a prayer, you chose to return to the one who has been waiting so long. And just that is already a spiritual new beginning.